Hi everyone, and welcome to today's EdTechWorks podcast. I'm Teresa Woodard from iStation, and we are coming to you from the Texas Computer Education Association Conference down in Austin, Texas, TCEA 2015, and we really are honored to have this guest with us today. This is Stephen Anderson. Stephen, welcome to TCEA, your first TCEA.
Yes, thank you for having me.
And
it's
you
been
like
great.
it, huh?
Yeah, it's been wonderful so
Fantastic.
far. It's been a great conference.
So Stephen calls himself an educational evangelist, which is a title I really love. What exactly does that mean?
So I've been a passionate educator for several years. I was a classroom teacher. I've been a director of instructional technology. I've held lots of positions between schools and districts, and I'm very passionate about the way that kids learn and the way that teachers learn, and so I want to be an advocate for both, for helping everyone discover that learning can be fun, and we can have a really good time, and we can do lots of really cool and innovative things in the classroom.
That's a beautiful thing. And one way that makes learning fun is technology, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So tell me a little bit about your background. You said you were in the classroom for a while. You did the educational technology, instructional technology. What made you flip and say, you know what, I'm going to spend my time trying to educate other teachers and get out of that trying to just be focused in one campus?
So I was working. My first classroom was in an alternative school, and I remember very early on I had a professional development session on clickers, and it was 2 days. And I remember at the end of the first day, thinking I didn't really get a whole lot out of that session. I spent that whole night teaching myself how to do it, and then I went back and told my team that was there, I said, I'm going to teach you all how to do this now. And so once we did that, I found that the power that technology could have with my kids, and that just continued on where I moved to another school where I was teaching science and saw the power that technology could have in the classroom. And I was sitting in another PD later on down in my career, and I was talking to the gentleman who was leading the PD, and I said, how can I do what you do? I want to teach teachers how to do technology. And so we had a great conversation, and that ultimately led me to going to get my master's in instructional technology, and has taken me to lots of different places to do lots of cool things.
You are an absolute superstar on Twitter. I think at last check, it's 110,000 plus followers. How did you get there, and why?
I have no idea to both. I've been involved with Twitter and for social media for about 7 years, and I don't know. It's been an incredible journey of being able to share the incredible things that teachers are doing, sharing resources daily with teachers. I'm a big advocate for, it's my responsibility to ensure that every kid everywhere has access to a high quality education, even if I don't teach those kids. Yeah. I would want someone to feel that way about my kids, and so I should feel that way about every kid. And so if I can do something small to impact teaching and learning everywhere, that's what I want to do. So I can do that by sharing the resources or sharing blog posts or being involved in social media and doing things like this.
What is the benefit? Talk about social media in schools. Some schools are resistant. Some schools are scared of it because of privacy issues and different things like that. And some people just think it's scary to put all your information out there. I see a different approach from you, it seems like. When you talk to schools about the power of social media, how do you explain what they can accomplish through it?
Yeah, so imagine if you're trying to learn something and you have just a one point of view about how something has happened. And so, you're going through life and you've only heard this one point of view, and so you don't know the other great things that are out there. What social media is are the other great things that are out there. So imagine, you can follow along with real-time events, you can engage with authors, you can engage with thought leaders, you can engage with subject matter experts, instantly receive that kind of stuff back into the classroom. And that's just for kids. On the professional learning side, which is what I talk about a lot, for teachers, imagine that you have a mentor perhaps, or you have a faculty room where you can go and you can ask questions. But imagine if your faculty room is millions of teachers across the globe, and all of the ideas that you can gather, and you can see that teaching can be very isolating. I felt very isolated as a teacher because I was the only one in my building who was doing some of the things that I was doing, and it can be very isolating. And social media allows you to not feel so isolated, to not feel like I'm the only one who wants to do this thing, Genius Hour, or this innovative thing. There are other people out there who are doing it, and there's a huge extensive network of people to support you when you do that.
It's fantastic. I know I read a blog post of yours recently, what a connected educator looks like. One of the themes that I loved that I took away from that was don't be afraid of failure. And you're not talking about failure for kids, you're talking about getting up and having a lesson that just doesn't go the way you think it's going to go, right? I mean, you have to sort of be ready for that and then learn from it, share with others, and you all learn from each other.
Exactly. I mean, I tell people all the time, I was a terrible classroom teacher.
If
I had known what I know now
No
about
way.
being a teacher, I would have been such a better teacher. No, it's understanding that not everything is going to go right, especially when it comes with technology.
Oh, yeah.
It's being resilient, and it's understanding that, you know what, I was in a session earlier today, and the presenter who had a great session, but got railroaded because there was no sound in it.
Oh,
and it
yeah.
it totally took away from the rest of the session because they were struggling. And in the classroom, that can totally derail the way that kids are learning. And so you roll with the punches. You say, you know what, well, we'll just go on and do something else. But it's embracing that, hey, something's going to happen or something's going to go wrong, and knowing that, you know, next time we're going to do better or we'll try something better. But it's also, that also teaches kids that failure is okay, because failure is okay in learning. Not to the extent that schools say, oh, you can't make Fs or you can't do. Failure is okay. That's how we learn. And if nobody ever failed at anything, we would never learn anything.
Yeah.
And so it's instilling that value in not just teachers, but kids as well.
So back on social media, I'm curious, how much time do you spend?
Too much.
Yeah, I would. Oh, don't we all? But really, I mean, that
Yeah.
is part of, that is your world you live in now.
Sure.
So is it constant, or are you able to find a little bit of a balance, or?
Yeah, I have a balance. I mean, I've been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
It fits into my workflow. But in my Twitter session yesterday, I talk about how you have to find the right ways to engage with the content that you want to engage in, and there's no rule or you know, formula to follow about, hey, if you spend this much time, you'll get this much out of it. The more time you put into it, the more you'll get out of it. But by just spending a little bit of time, the return on it is so much more. So spending 5 minutes a day or an hour a day reading blog posts or reading tweets or something like that can really, truly be fruitful for one's professional learning, and for kids too. It can have a huge impact on their learning as well.
Right. Well, the good takeaways from talking to you today: don't be afraid of technology, embrace it. Don't be afraid to fail, and don't be afraid of social media, because it really can have a big impact.
A huge impact on not only the learning for teachers, but for students as well.
Very good, Stephen. Thank you so much.
Thank you very
Enjoyed
much.
it. So, and how can we find you on Twitter? What's your handle?
At Web20 Classroom.
At Web20 Classroom. So you can follow, maybe be 101,001 would be the follower, right?
Definitely.
Very good. Okay, thanks so much.
Thank you.
We
Thanks
appreciate
for having me.
it.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for joining us for today's EdTechWorks podcast. We'll see you again soon.